Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be walking you through my makeup inventory. I keep all of my makeup in this one set of drawers, and I'm pretty sure it's from Amazon. If I can still find it on Amazon, I will link it below for you guys. So all my base products fit in this. First up we have MAC Strobe Cream. This is a really iconic product, and this is the Gold Light shade, so this suits my skin tone really well. And it has a beautiful like sheer gold finish, and it really looks like skin. It just feels like a lightweight lotion. Honestly, if you use this, you can skip moisturizer because it's just so moisturizing itself. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell on camera, but it imparts a really beautiful glow. This really gives glass skin. If I sheer out my foundation on top of this, this primer will show a lot underneath and it'll give that glass skin look. So every time I'm trying to go for the glass skin look, this is the primer I use. Next we have the NYX Marshmallow Primer. This is like a slightly blurring primer. It's not too extreme to the point that it like affects how my makeup looks in a bad way. It more like gives a nice slip for my makeup to go on top of. And I find that with a lot of blurring primers, like they can cause the foundation to skip around and look patchy because it's just so silicone-y that the foundation is like skipping right on top of it and it's not actually like sitting on your skin. This doesn't do that, which is why I really like it. And I've actually used so much of this that I have to store it upright to get the product out. I just have it lying down for this video in here, but usually I keep it upright because I've used like probably over half of this, but you get a full fluid ounce in here, so it's a lot of product. I have one setting spray and it's pretty much all I need. This is the Milani Make It Last setting spray. I don't really find a reason to buy another setting spray when this one works so well, and it's from the drugstore, so it's inexpensive, and usually these are on sale at Ulta for like buy one get one half off. A lot of times Milani goes on sale, so every time this is on sale I pick up a new bottle, and I have barely anything left of this one because I just love it so much. I only have one foundation, and it's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I wear the shade 3W1.5 Fawn, and I actually ran out of my other bottle of this, which is why I had to get a new one. But this is my favorite foundation of all time. I love that it's like super full coverage and matte. That way it's really versatile because you can sheer it out, put it on top of a glowy primer, put it on top of lots of moisturizer, or you can wear it how it's pretty much intended to be, which is like a full coverage matte, like photo ready foundation. This lasts through sweat, humidity. Every time I wear this outside and I think it's too hot or humid and my foundation is probably just melting off my face, I look in the mirror or I look back at pictures and I'm shocked at how flawless my complexion looks. This is an olive shade in their line. I know they have a couple other ones as well. I have two concealers and I really only use this one. You guys have seen the Cover FX Power Play Concealer in G Medium 1. This is the Kosas Concealer in 5.50. This is a really nice olive shade. You can kind of see the differences here, but this one is just a little more yellow than this one. The reason that I don't use the Kosas one as much is just because of the formula. The color and the packaging is really what got me on this because it's an olive shade, so this literally matches my skin perfectly. But it's just not that type of formula that you can use with like a full beat look, and that is the type of look that I like. So I find myself often just using this one. I think I've only used this Kosas one like twice, which is kind of unfortunate because it was expensive. Surprisingly, it has not gone off yet. I know Kosas products tend to expire pretty quickly because of their lack of preservatives in the formula, but mine still smells fine, so maybe I'll give it a shot in the next coming days, but I really only use the Power Play Concealer just because it's so reliable. This is just a little sample of Laura Mercier powder. It's actually not my shade, so I will be giving this to a friend. This is the medium shade in their line. It's like my favorite translucent powder. Before they came out with this honey shade, I was using the original translucent shade, and I always wished that there was a deeper shade with a little bit more yellow and warmth in it. Sometimes the other shade could make me look ashy, especially if I used a lot of it. But no matter how much I use of this, it doesn't make me look ashy, and that's what I love about it. I think Laura Mercier does the best translucent powder on the market, and I always buy the mini just because it lasts me so long. Like, I think it lasts me a full year, maybe even 2 years, because I don't wear makeup that often. So it's just a great powder. I will probably never be without this, and I'm not really interested in trying out other loose powders just because I have one that works so well already. I have one color corrector, and this is the Bobbi Brown color corrector in the shade Peach. I use this under my eyes, and I've gone through several of these. Oh, I also forgot to say that this is my second tube of the Power Play Concealer. So like I buy the same products over and over again once I find ones that I really like, especially with base products because I tend to be more experimental with blush and eyeshadow and lip glosses and stuff. But with your base makeup, I mean, I really don't want to, you know, play around with it or take a risk because I feel like the complexion is just such an integral part of your routine. This is like the most beautiful draw to look at because of all the beautiful bright colors, and these are my favorite lip products. These are actually the only lip products I have, and I honestly love all of my lip products. I really don't keep anything that I don't absolutely love, so I'm going to go through all of these with you. I have 5 lip liners, and I'm actually going to swatch all of them just because I'm curious about the exact shade differences. First up, we have 1993. This is by Urban Decay. This is one of my favorite nudie brown lip liners. It's like my perfect nude. There's a little bit of brown, a little bit of pink, a little bit of mauve, and it's just the right depth and like muted tone that it just looks so natural. Like it's basically almost the same color as my lips, just a little bit darker. This is the NYX retractable liner, and this is in the shade Cocoa. I really love this shade because it's super warm toned, and I think this is probably one of the warmest toned lip liners that I have, and I really like the way that this looks actually with the Buxom Gloss in Dolly, which I'll get to in a second. Next I have the matte lip liner from NYX in the shade Sandstorm. This one is a little bit of a drier formula because it's matte, but I really do like this color. It's very natural on me though. Then we have the LA Girl lip liner in the shade Keep It Spicy. I'm pretty sure this is a dupe for some MAC shade, but I'm not sure off the top of my head which one it was supposed to be a dupe for, but as you can see there's a running theme here. I really like this mauvey brown nude type of shade. And last we have the shade Espresso from NYX. This is probably my darkest lip liner, and I use this for when I want to do that like 90s brown lip with clear or glittery gloss. I also have Nude Truffle by NYX, but my sister has taken that lip liner hostage, and I'm not sure when I'm gonna see it again, but just know that that is one of them. So I actually have 6 lip liners. Okay, I actually have 7. I totally forgot about this. This is MAC Cherry. This is my only red lip liner, and I bought this to wear specifically with Ruby Woo lipstick. It's the perfect red shade for me. Ruby Woo and Cherry are like a match made in heaven. This is my ultimate red lip. I don't own any other red lip products. And now for these sort of balmy gloss type of products. I have the LYS Glossy Lip Treatment Oil. I really love this. It's super glossy, especially for prepping your lips for makeup. I think this is one of the best things I have. I also have my original formula, Agave Bite Lip Mask. Yeah, I know, this is like a makeup artifact. It's an ancient relic. I will never get over this being discontinued. I think this is the one thing that pains me the most to think about. And mine has not gone bad. It still smells really good, like how I first bought it. And I'm savoring this too, because once this is gone, I really will not know what to do with myself. So I'm just gonna not think about that and put that to the side. I have these 2 Naturium Fido Glow lip balms. This is Susan Yara's brand, and I really like this formula. Clearly I like the berry shade more, and I feel like the key with this is to put on a really thick layer, because before I would just put on a thin layer and it didn't really look good. It kind of emphasized all like the dead skin on my lips, and it was just like not my favorite formula, but I found the key is to just put on a super thick layer of this, and then it looks really good. But I really love this formula, and the packaging is actually recyclable too, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so these are all of my like lipstick and lipstick adjacent products. I really only have one true lipstick, and the rest are kind of like sheer balmy lipsticks, but I will swatch all of these for you. So first we have Dior's Lip Glow Lip Balm in the shade 12 Rosewood. This is like the perfect coral shade for me. It's not too intense because it is a sheer color and a sheer formula. It's really glossy and nourishing on the lips. I was actually not expecting this to be so nourishing, but it's the perfect shade of coral. Next I have Rum Raisin from Revlon, and this is that shine lipstick formula that has been discontinued actually. If you didn't get this formula, I wouldn't feel like you missed out on something huge. Like I would just go get the regular lipstick formula because they carry the exact same shades between the lines. So this is Rum Raisin, beautiful, beautiful shade. This is like another My Lips But Better type of color that I can just like throw on without a mirror, and I don't have to worry about it, how it looks. Then I have this NARS lip balm. This is the shade Laguna, and this was that 2019 Sephora birthday gift. It's a really pretty warm bronze shade, and this looks really nice just on the lips alone or with lip liner. It's something really like casual and sheer and slick and moisturizing. Then I have the iconic Black Honey lipstick. I actually went through an entire tube of this before, and I had to buy a new one. So this is my second tube of this, and it's just that beautiful like bitten lip shade. And then this was that MAC lipstick Ruby Woo that I was talking about. This is just my perfect red lipstick. and I have the mini size because I don't really wear red lipstick that often, but when I do, it's always Ruby Woo. I used to actually have a large tube of this, but I lost it, so I just bought the mini one again, and it's absolutely beautiful. This is like the red to end all reds. And I think I'll actually count these two Sephora Melting Lip Clicks in the lipstick category, because other than that, I really wouldn't know what to categorize them as, because I don't really think it's a gloss. So this brown one is creme brulee, and then the pink one is caramel. These are actually discontinued by Sephora, but if you were able to get your hands on these, consider yourself lucky, because this is like one of the most beautiful formulas ever. Okay, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lip glosses. This is the Black Honey Lip Gloss by Clinique. This is actually my second tube of this. I had the other one in my empties video, which I will link on the screen right now if you want to watch it. I definitely use the gloss formula more than the lipstick now that I have the gloss. This is Cinnamon Roll from NYX. This is their butter gloss. It's actually pretty pigmented for a lip gloss, but I love this like cool toned brown shade. I think it's really flattering. I know a lot of people like have this sort of like grayish brown shade, but all of the ones that I ever encountered were like way too light for me, and they kind of washed me out. This is the only one with like enough depth that I have found that it looks like that type of shade, but like for my medium skin tone. Then I just have this Ulta Juice Lip Oil, which is clear, so there's no point in swatching it, but it's just so glossy and glassy. This is also not sticky, so if you're not a fan of sticky lip glosses, but you really want that glass-like shine that usually sticky lip glosses provide, I think you'll really like this. Then I have this In Beauty Glaze. This is the shade Berry Jam. It's a really beautiful sheer hot pink. This also smells like sour blue raspberry candy, and they have a bunch of colors to choose from. This is Buxom Dolly, and this is the cream formula, so there's no shimmer in this one, but I have had the shimmer one before. Actually, that was the very first one of this tube that I had, and I've literally been using this lip gloss since like 8th grade, so this is a very long time love of mine. Then I have Ami Colay's Lip Treatment Oil. This is the shade Excellence. This is a really, really sticky lip gloss. That's like the only thing I dislike about it, but the smell is heavenly, the color is gorgeous, it's sheer enough, but it still provides a little bit of color, and this makes your lips look so full because it's like glassy and shiny, but it also like fills in all the lip lines and kind of like coats your lips. It's so beautiful. I just wish it was less sticky. Then I have Lavender Savage from Fenty. I had to order this from their website because it wasn't sold on Ulta or Sephora or anything, but I really didn't mind because I wanted a like kind of radiant orchid shade. If you know, you know, that was the color of the year in 2014. I also have Lemon Lava. This is just like a gold glittery gloss. I wanted a gold glittery gloss for so long, and I was like comparing a bunch of different colors and formulas, and this is honestly the prettiest one that I found. And then I have Hot Cherry from Fenty. This was like a 100-point perk at Sephora. These glosses literally smell like candy. They're so, so good. Those are all of my lip glosses. So these are all of my blushes and highlights and bronzers, and I'm actually not going to go through any of these because I have a totally separate video on this entire draw, so I will link that on the screen in case you guys want to see it. Okay, next up I've got this draw, which is just like some small eyeshadow palettes. So this is Slight Flex from Revlon. This was actually an Amanda Z recommendation, and this is such a beautiful, sophisticated palette from the drugstore. This is just a really gorgeous shade range, and I feel like this is something you would see in like a Tom Ford palette or something. Speaking of Tom Ford, I have this palette from them. This is the shade Disco Dust. I will swatch all these colors for you guys. This is definitely like a more natural type of formula. Tom Ford is not really like meant to be super pigmented or outlandish. It's like a really low-key formula. So that's what those four look like. This shade is like practically invisible on me because it's like the same color as my skin tone, but I really like this palette. Then I have this single fractal eye paint, and this is from About Face. They actually changed the packaging of this, which thank God they did, because this is literally so awkward to use. It is a beautiful color though. Super glittery. I have these two little gem palettes that I got from Amazon when I was really into doing Euphoria makeup, whenever that was super popular. Then we have New Look from Dior. This was also an Amanda Z recommendation, and Khaki always says that all these colors are really similar, and I totally get where she's coming from, because like these two are really similar, and then these two are really similar, and then the topper is like totally different. But for me, I just really love this formula, love the color story, and I got this as a birthday gift for myself when I think this color story is so beautiful and so luxe, and I actually got this like 15% off at Macy's because they were having like their friends and family sale, and beauty is always marked down like 15 or 20%, so that is how I got that discount. So this is a really fun little drawer, and this is where I keep all of my single shadows that are not like in a palette. So these are all like single shadows in their own little compact. So we can start with this Tom Ford little duo here. So I got these both for half off at Sephora, and that was when Tom Ford's like makeup was kind of being discontinued and phased out. This is the cream and powder duo in the shade Naked Bronze. And this color of bronze is like so addicting and beautiful. It's like the perfect shade of bronze for me. The topper, I actually don't like to layer this on top as much. I kind of just use it alone, but next to it, this is what it looks like. Then this is the shade Platinum, and this is their cream shadow. This is a really beautiful formula, super easy to use. It's a much more cool toned brown, as you can see here, compared to this one. This one like looks straight up red next to this one. I have this single Laura Mercier color stick, and this is the shade Strapless. This is kind of like that Tom Ford shade, but like a little bit more pink. Then I have this single liquid shadow from Sydney Grace. This is the color My Bond. This is a beautiful red-blue duochrome. It's super, super glittery. Then this is actually a really random shadow from Mojo Spa. It's called Havana, and I got this in Chicago. It's a really beautiful, like, cool-toned bronze shade. Then I have Shock Chalk from Sephora collection, and yes, this is another Amanda Z recommendation. This is such a stunning shade. It has like a little bit of purple in it, so it's so flattering on brown eyes. Then I have Infinity from Moira. Moira is so slept on. I actually get this at H-E-B. If you're not in Texas, I'm not sure where you could get this from. Probably just online, but this shade is like stunning. It's the perfect silver. Then I have Urban Decay's Moondust Single Shadow, and this is called Space Cowboy. This is like the original wet look shadow. It is the wet look shadow to end all wet look shadows. I mean, just so beautiful. There's like nothing like this. Seriously, nothing like it. Then I have these two Prismetal shadows from JCat. This one is called Frosty Foil. Oh my gosh, I'm scared because it kind of feels like this is drying out. These are very much like Super Shock shadows. Yeah, that is not swatching really well. I think it's because it's drying out. But I'm gonna try to get a more accurate color. I think that's about as good of a swatch as we're gonna get. This is the shade Chrome Crusher, and I don't think this one's dried out. Yeah, no, it's not. It's way smoother. You can see like the true pigmentation and formula. Yeah, this shade is absolutely beautiful, like a cool tone bronze. It has a lot of gray in this one. Then I've got two Super Shock shadows from ColourPop. This one is called A Little Quirky. This is a really gorgeous neutral. Such an effortless, beautiful shade. And then this is the shade Nillionaire. This one I used to have in 2019. And it dried out, but I used to use it like religiously, so I had to get another one. So, so pretty. ColourPop's formula is just incredible, especially for the price point. And then lastly, this is something really cool. This is from Lemonhead LA, and this is actually a glitter, and it's like a gel formula. This is the color Houdini. This is actually the one they used on Zendaya in Euphoria, which is why I got it. And it's basically this like gorgeous purpley glitter. And they called it Houdini because at one point you can see it and then you can't. So I think it's pretty clever that they named it Houdini. But yeah, just a gorgeous, really cool shade. This is like totally a party shade, like when you want to, you know, wear something in low lighting that's gonna look really cool. This is like that shade. Okay, this is all of my like brow stuff, eyeliners, and mascara. So my only mascara is Essence Lash Princess. So this is like $5 at Ulta, and it is the reason that I will never buy a high-end mascara, because this just exists and there's no reason for me to spend more than $5 on a mascara. This is my second tube of this as well, so it's a repeat purchase. Then I have this Milani Stay Put liner. This is the black shade. It's called After Dark, and it has a little smudger on the end, but I really got this because I did not have a black liner and I wanted something that was like really dark and creamy that I could also like smudge out if I needed to. And you can see how easily it blends. Then I have this gel liner from Maybelline. This is the brown shade, and I used the little brush that comes with it. I used to have the black one too, but I eventually just ended up getting a pencil black liner instead because I find that these dry out pretty quickly and I didn't want to just keep buying it and buying it when I really don't use eyeliner that often. Now for brows, I have my Kosas Air Brow. This is the shade Black, and yes, this still smells really funky. Like, I just don't even know how to describe it. It just smells so weird. Like, it doesn't smell fresh anymore, but I'm still using it because, like, I don't know, I just really don't want to buy another brow gel. Then I have this teeny tiny Kosas Air Brow, but this is like the clear shade, and this was a Point Perk from Sephora. This one actually smells normal. And I have the one and only Brow Freeze from Anastasia. I know this is technically supposed to be clear, but mine turned white for some reason. It still smells normal, so I'm gonna keep using it, but this is great for like that laminated brow look. And then I have my eyeshadow primer. This is Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I mainly use this whenever I'm using like a really glittery or shimmery shade that I want to kind of have like a sticky base for it to stick to. And then I have the Urban Decay Grindhouse Sharpener. This is like almost a decade old. I actually think it is over a decade old. I got this at Ulta like literally 10 years ago, and they have since changed the packaging because there were a lot of complaints that this is like really weak, fragile packaging, and it kind of is, but mine has just been kept in really like safe, good condition, so I don't really need to buy a new one. Okay, I had to change my battery real quick, so if anything looks a little bit different, then that is why. But next up we have my Mothership palette. This is from Pat McGrath. This is the Bronze Seduction palette, so this is number 5. And I actually think that this is the best Mothership palette that Pat McGrath makes. I think if we're gonna get one, it should be this one. This palette is really well loved. I have dents in these 3 shades here, and I'm actually gonna swatch the special shades for you guys because I think that would be really fun. Okay, we are almost at the end here. This is my single shadow palette. These are just indie eyeshadows, and I already actually did a video on this palette, but since that video I've acquired these 3 new shades from Terra Moons. These are all in like one little collection. They all have like a similar formula. This one is Palladium, and it's a really pretty rose gold. It's so pigmented, and I feel like the pigment just goes on for days. Like, this is a really beefy swatch, and I feel like it just keeps and keeps on building. Next we have the shade Cesium. And then this is the shade Rubidium. These are just some of the most beautiful, glittery, sparkly shadows I have in my collection. The camera is not doing this formula justice. These shadows are actually only $7 each, and they just recently used to be $6. So I would snatch these up before the price increases anymore. So that is it for my makeup inventory, and I think this is a really good like benchmark type of video. So if I'm considered decluttering something or adding something new to my collection, I can see exactly what I have, how many of each thing I have, and if I really need that, or if I can get rid of something else. It's just a good type of video to have in like your personal makeup history. So I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed all the swatches. I know I had so much fun making this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next one.